Previously. Hey everybody, and welcome back to Terraria. Now, when we last left off, we were doing a fair amount of grinding and I was getting sick of it, to be honest, so I've taken a break for once and I've decided to do a let's build. Now, I'm just going to quickly go over some of the issues I had with this. Now, the first thing I wanted to do was I wanted to build this in a desert biome. Now, we have a desert biome on the right hand side of the world, but that is currently pretty much all used up due to the giant Yggdrasil hanging branches and the pyramid that's there, and I think if I tried to squeeze anything more on there it would look a bit too crowded. But we do have another desert biome to the left of our world. Unfortunately, it's corrupted quite drastically, so the first thing I had to do was to remove that corruption with the contaminator. Now, I'm actually quite surprised with how quickly this went. It was not as complicated as I was expecting it to be. Some of the other times we've had to remove corruption has been a long, drawn-out process, but this was quite quickly. The next issue I seem to have was the fact that I completely forgot how to make circles in Terraria, and I just got stumped. I had to start and restart over and over again because I kept doing it wrong and I couldn't figure out what was wrong, and I eventually got it down. And one of the things is, the bigger the circle is, the more it looks like a circle. The smaller it is, the more it just looks like a hexagon. So in order to make it look circle enough, it had to be quite big, but it's a little bit too big in comparison to the rest of the building, and it just looks a little bit silly, but I can deal with it. It's not too big of an issue. And the material itself that I use for these buildings, I decided to go with a mix of wood types, and I think I used every type of wood except for spooky wood for no real reason, and I just didn't feel it needed the dark black spooky wood in this. Everything else is more lighter and more bleached colour to it, especially with the roof. And one of the things I'm really proud of, it silly thing to say because it is such a small thing, but I made some like saloon doors on the front of the building. You know, the ones that sort of swing open and closed. The reason the way that I made this was by using a couple of blocks of mahogany wood and then just actuating them up, so as you approach it looks like they're just swinging open and closed. It's something simple, but I really like the look of it. Something else that I've used, and I think this might be the first time I've used these, and they are items called, I believe they're called fountains, and they can be purchased from the witch doctor, I think it is. And the way these work is you place them in a body of water and it will transform that body of water into a different, not a different liquid, but a different style of liquid. So for example, in the desert, the liquid there is like a brown, sandy, muddy water. If I were to place like a clear fountain in it, the water would become nice, crystal clear. And if I were to place, say, a blood fountain in the ocean would go from blue to a deep red colour. And that's how they work. I used a couple of fountains in this build and I think they work quite well. And finally, the decorative items that I've used. Oh man, I'm quite happy with some of them. There's just a couple that are just comically small. It just kind of ruined the whole aspect of a couple of things for me. For example, I will build a large stage later on, and then I place an item on it, and the item itself is only 3x2, I think it is. It's a very small item, smaller than myself, and it doesn't ruin it, but it just looks comical. But it'll do. I'll live with it. Right, so let's get on with this, and let's build a saloon.